Why, hello there, fellow administrators. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Sintopia. Episode 4, Changing Policies on Saints. Alright, so now that there are saints in play, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change Rule 3. So Rule 3 is essentially who gets resurrected. And let's click on the rule set, and I'm going to add an or to it. Or status equals saint. And the reason for this is you can't punish saints for money. So there's no point in you handling saints, essentially. Saints should just be sent back up to the respawn world. Alternatively, if you want, you could create some sort of purgatory for them where they like march around in a circle until they get pissed. If we wanted to do that, we could do it like this. Souls Dispatcher. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have this fallback be a B. And for C, if status equals saint, go the C path. And the C path will look like this. A Souls Road. And let's put a crossroad in here. So Souls Road that does this. If you're a saint, you get to get very bored for a very long time. Basically, be terrible at our job until you lose your sainthood. It's a little expensive to lay out a bunch of roads, but like, you get the idea. So let's just say, let's try this as a potential path for losing a saint. And I can make it longer if it needs to be longer. So basically, if you're a saint, go kick rocks for a while and see if you're still a saint at the end of that. So you can program it in, and in fact, well, I think even better, let's move this thing over here instead. So if everyone goes B unless you're a saint, actually, let's move this up here like this. So basically, if you're a saint, go kick rocks and then go back to the start. And then it's an infinite loop, right? If saint, kick rocks, go back to start. If saint, kick rocks, go back to start. If saint, kick rocks, go back to start. Basically, we screw with saints until they're not saints anymore. Seems reasonable. It's a de-saint machine. Yep. And it could have been a shorter loop. I just enjoyed wiggly wigglies. So we'll see if that works. Warband. Ooh, 19. What are you attacking? I can't even tell. Oh, yeah, you're attacking here. All right. Yoink. Ooh, you're against like a alpha warg. Unfortunately, I have a lot of magic, so alpha warg, get wrecked. Chunk. Okay. There we go. I even the odds. They should be fine. So this is the original checkpoint has or saint rule. It's fine. Saints should never reach that, so I can leave the or in there, or I can remove it. It makes no difference. What I do see happening here is we're getting a bit of a queue for the Omni Doctors. So I'm going to add another Omni Doctor in soon. Why not walk saints around the existing path? I could have. I just didn't. You know, I wanted to do it this way. Okay. They are waiting on soldiers, I suspect. Where are the soldiers? There we go. They were waiting on soldiers, so I used the zap spell to speed the soldiers up. Oh, you need a little boost again? Oh! I might have just killed one of you instead. I accidentally clicked on them rather than the ground, so I think I just zapped one. They survived, though, so I guess it's fine. Oh, we have a envy. Alright, let's treat it. Enviologist. Put it, actually, I'm going to put it right at the edge here, let's say. Does the break room cover? It does. Good. And, magic nuts apparently are flat earther. Alright, so we did measure for envy. So we are now managing sloth and envy, but none of the other deadly sins, which would end up in this path. And it's the same throughput as the original. Treat envy, dump, reassess. Cheers. Okay, we just paid the tax for the day. We have almost no money left over. And here's the big fight. Should be an easy win for the Humus, because I took care of a bunch of the enemies. Yep, they didn't even take any losses. And that's because I'm trying to populate the overworld. So, not even taking any losses means that they won't build up wrath seeing their friends dead or anything like that. Oh, Scorpio, you leveled up. Let's give you work time.
I would tell my wife.
And we got a silver chest. With 6,000. Hell yeah. Get it? Alright, with that windfall of money, let's do more omniscient doctors to help with the backlog of Humus. So we're gonna add one there. And I'm gonna add one here. Motivation.
Do I really have to?
Fine, and then masochist. Alright, more capacity. The other thing we could do in this instance is, and I'm gonna just choose to unlock this, is minor fear and motivational props. So I'm gonna put some motivational props in for my employees to be more motivated in doing their jobs. And in being more motivated, they will work faster. So I'll put a prop in here for the ticket boother. A prop here. And I'm going to have to repaint the roads. That's fine. A prop here. And a prop here and a prop here. Now, what will end up happening with these props is the Humus that walk on these roads will walk slower because it has the opposite effect for Humus. But it will make the people working in the process, the Omni Doctors, work faster, which is ultimately worth the benefit. So if we take a look at the average motivation now, we're moving up into satisfied. So they have a 25% work speed bonus as a result of those props. I don't really care about the work speed over here because they don't matter. Alternatively, there is the opposite prop of movement speed. So if I put in like Here, let's combine these roads because it's going to be easier to gain the bonus from this. If I put in, like, gibbet cages here, and here, and here, then the humus that move through my maze, my, like, money-making maze, will move through faster and pick up less sins on the way through, which then makes it a more efficient machine, in other words. And I'm going to stop spending money because I have a big upkeep to earn. But yeah, and if you take a look at the staff here, for the imps that you have, you can see their motivation. So you can see the types of jobs that they do. So the other thing is I could motivate my... Oh, I forgot to do that. Let's go ahead and motivate my puppet workers too. Sweet. So then the humus that are moving through these are going to be demotivated for lower movement speed, which isn't a big deal because most of the time they spend around here, they're spent in buildings which are immune to those effects. So right now, the throughput, or the waiting line, is 18 of 48 with a 4-second wait. And the 4-second wait is a result of both a mix of the motivation and the traits of the secretary. Oh, Warband, forming up. They're heading your way. Whoa, that was a total miss. I don't have a lot of spell power right now. Eh, whatever. I'll correct that later. Won't humus generate less money? Why? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Okay, so that's a mag mine now. Cool. Oh, almost got there. They know better not to step on it. Maybe they don't. Do it. Ha ha! Well, that had the desired effect. Perfect. Alright, good enough. I aided them enough. Yes, they earn money every time they step on the tile. It's not about the time they spend on the tile. So it doesn't matter how fast they make it through here. It matters that they step on it to begin with. So having them terrified reduces the amount of sins they pick up, which is honestly a good thing. Work speed, or let's do work speed again, because we're getting a bit of a hell puppet show backlog. But we've made the money that we need to be able to pay wages for the morning already, which is good. Oh, another warband. 2 of them? You guys are a little overeager, I think. Okay, let's also give you another work speed. So now our waiting line takes 3 seconds to dispatch, down from 6, which is pretty good. Could you make the Saint Road walk over the money? They will eventually, yeah. Again, just a reminder, you only get money from this once. You can't, it's once per soul per cycle, so you can't have them infinitely walk over the money tiles. It will only award you once. So the saints that enter our hell will eventually walk these as they go to resurrection. Everyone walks this path going to resurrection. You have to. There's no other path to resurrection. So
that was a good boy. I'm a good.
Man, everyone's leveling up. Let's give you break time reduction.
Right at last.
Alright, we have fewer souls waiting in line than we had before, meaning that we are getting through the backlog more quickly, I think. pretty small warbands. This warband's claiming a farm field. But this warband, I don't think is going to survive against this. My god, why are you fighting this? Well, we'll see. I used a whole bunch of magic to help them, but it might not go well for them. Now, we haven't yet had a saint die. So we haven't seen the, like, saint path be walked yet. I could try to go to the surface and find said saint. Because she's up there somewhere. Yep, there's the taxes reduction. Cool. So we have 4 saints. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. One's a soldier. Oh, he might just die on his own. I might not have to do very much. But they are magic resistant, so I just... Oh, he had greed. Well, okay, we're gonna have to manage greed in the... Here we go. We wanted to de-saint someone, so I'm about to do that. Killing Mr. Smelly Feet here. Can you just die already? Cool. Alright, I murdered a saint. No, I didn't! Ah, you're still alive? Damn you! I'm trying. They're pretty resilient, as you can see. I like how I just zapped the greed dude as total collateral. Just die in a... Ah, you so resistant. Nope, I missed. You shall die. I'll get you. There we go. Alright, so we'll be able to see the Saint Grinder now. There should be the Greed Dude coming in anytime now, which means I am going to need to also unlock the Greedologist. Well, I don't have to. You could have them, like, permanently waiting in line forever. That doesn't really matter. But here's Mr. Greed coming in. And we'll set up a Greedologist now. I don't think the Greedologist is going to be able to get to the restroom, but, like, I'm okay with that. I don't really care if they take their breaks inefficiently, because there's too few for that to matter. Alright, so here, we'll do a Souls Dispatcher. Oh, the only issue now is this is like a dead end. I'm, like, out of room. So... I'm gonna have to put the Souls Dispatcher elsewhere. Well, I think what I'll do is I'm just gonna assume they're greed if they come here. And then if there's a new type of sinner, I'll deal with it then. Otherwise, I don't really care. And you're hired in Thek. If you treat someone who isn't greed for greed, nothing happens. They just go back through the loop. You waste some time in the workflow, but it's not like it critically fails or anything like that. Oh, they won. Open that bad boy up. What do we get? 12 heroes. Wow, that's awesome. All right, give me more Punishers and more Critical Damnation. I'll just choose that for now. All right, the line queue is definitely down. We're down to 9. So throughput's up. Some of that is just like we've been leveling up. Some of that is I added more capacity, but essentially it's a good thing. We are going to need a new Hell Puppet show, though. So we already know that they split evenly. So if I split it like this, it will split thirds all around. And they'll have this Hell Puppet Show come in here. And then... oops, wrong direction. Dump out like that. Are these corruption tiles? I forget. I don't think they are. I think this... never mind. There's sort of the opposite of this later on, but I think this is just a visual thing. All right, so now we have a third Hell Puppet Show. And I'm going to reset the queues so that they use all three to help with the throughput. And let's hire Malreaver. A drama queen? No, no thanks. A new Malreaver. Yeah, maybe there's a new Malreaver. So now we have 3 Hell Puppet Shows, and the other thing I want to do is a crossing here. So they enter the queue correctly. And they're split in 3, thirds to all 3. And I can add another one if it gets backed up. The Saint, I think, is in the graveyard. Yep, he's waiting. So we could also, try to increase the bus's capacity up to 10. I think that would be pretty significant because there's been a bit of a backlog. But now we should see the Saint Grinder work. So here we go. Here's the Saint going on the Saint Grinder. And his Holy Patience is breakable. So reducing the Holy Patience of a Saint to 0 is the only way to break their sainthood. Holy Patience is lost when facing the worst administration processes. Waiting in a waiting line, witnessing soft and hard failures from employees, or being treated in a time dilator. So at the moment, because they are not worth anything to me, I'm just basically having them loop forever. But if I had a time dilator, we could break them that way. But they're not worth heroes, they're not worth Purga dollars, they're not worth faith coins. They're basically worthless souls. And they're untouchable, they're locked into a sin of 100. So he's just going to be walking this path until I have a better method to deal with him. I could try to have them waiting in like endless waiting lines, but for the purpose of this specific scenario, it's not really worth engineering because... well, I suppose I could try to set it up where the Saints go in here and then I measure them and then send them back so they're just perpetually in a waiting line rather than a walking loop. But for now, I'm just going to do the walking loop. I don't really need to engineer a better solution, in other words. Because they're 181st of the equation. Okay, the last queen, or king, or whoever it was, died, and we have an aspirant now. Who's a sloth. Try again. just try again. I don't want you. I'll see you in hell. Alright, new aspirant. Okay, you might be a little bit more reasonable. So you are a brainy scholar. That's going to be really bad for our soldiers. So let me just do this. Dying. Yeah, electrocution. You don't say. Oops, I didn't mean to put the temple on fire. You kind of don't want your temple to burn. That was a mistake. Now, you can put fires out with spells, with Healing Rain, but I don't have the heroes to cast Healing Rain at the moment, so I'm just hoping this doesn't burn down. I should not have used that spell there, in other words. Come on, soldiers, put it out, please. Thank you. Appreciate it. And we have a new aspirant coming. Give me money. This is a shakedown.
Oh boy, finally.
Alright, Temple, are you okay now? I might have accidentally burned some of you to death, but yeah, okay, the temple's no longer on fire. Good. Good. Let's not do that again. That's fine. It survived. The soldiers did what they were supposed to. Alright, a shrewd politician coronated. I'll allow it. It's not the best. They're just, you know, trying to prioritize happiness. It's like a balanced position. That's fine. Since so these things are indestructible, the spawn beacon and the resurrection portal are invincible, so nothing that you do will change that. The temple itself isn't, though. So the temple itself can be damaged, and you should keep that probably in working order, else it's like a fail. But the portal and the spawn are can't be messed with. Okay, we might need some more Omnidoctors. Although some of that line just got long because I can see with their hats they were soldiers that ended up dying from war campaigns. So this might just be a temporary influx and not like a permanent higher ratio. But as promised, let's go ahead and get the spacious bus. So we can hold 10 souls rather than 5. No, the line's being whittled down. I think it's fine. I'm not going to add more capacity. And we have a lot of money. So one of the things you can do with money is you can expand your realm. So over here is a hell expansion that you can buy. It has some Omnidoctors inside of it. These Omnidoctors could not be moved or sold or whatever. They're kind of just like bound to the ground. And then over here is a Ooh La La studio. Let's actually buy that plot of land. Because this gives me an Ooh La La Dream Studio without actually having to buy it, because it comes free. So the Ooh La La Dreams Studio is basically a porn studio. Yep. And it encourages your hummus to make more hummus. So this needs a connection to the plaza. It has one, though. I could make it a Souls Road, but it shouldn't have to be. Okay, well, whatever, that worked now. So, hiring. Someone with a good work ethic. A work time, Drea, inside there. And you get your own restaurant, because you are really far away from everyone else. So the studio here, what it does is well, you'll see. So here's Drea working the studio to try to drive up the birth rates. Yep, and you can either increase or decrease the birth rates. So we bought that expansion so that we can try to get the Populate the Overworld, because the Punish the Sins is getting done soon, but the Populate the Overworld was lagging behind. I don't even know what that is. But I'm not going to buy it right now because we don't have the money. Oh, a silver reward. Speaking of money. Go away, soldiers, so I can zap. Oops! Collateral. Sorry. Not sorry. This guy just, like, watched me waste his friend. Ooh! 15 soldiers were stuck in the chest. Well, that's going to help populate the overworld, for sure. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. The soldiers failed at attacking. Well, actually, they're clearing it, but I'm helping out a lot by... softening them up, let's say. Because I want these expedition crew to succeed. So now it's just like one dire warg, I think. Yeah, just one warg who's very dead. Here, go into the fire. Oh, I missed. And a copper chest. Alright, the last warg's dead. They didn't come out, because this expedition was for this layer, so they didn't come out to get that one open. Oh no, I'm getting the chest over here too. Cool. So this one was 8 more hummus. And this one... probably for something... more Perker dollars. Sweet. So population's up to 122. Good. And we're doing a pretty good job of punishing sins here. Alright, we do have some more money. Let's do charismatic admin for a little bonus to the this
She cannot mean it, can she?
for the motivators. And in fact, I'm going to do it once more. What I'd like to do is have these be able to boost up to a new tier for efficiency.
Would you have a glass of...
Because if I can get them... Yeah, there we go. Work speed up 30%. If I get them a little bit more motivated, even with the cheaper motivators, when I build on new maps, the cheapest motivation will allow them to work more efficiently, which is like a pretty big benefit, I think. So I'm probably going to do another charismatic admin once I have the heroes. But it does appear like a lot of the... Okay, so some of this... Why is there such a long queue here and not the other one? I'm going to reset it. Because when they enter, it should split 3 ways, and it's just not. Oh, it is. I just don't know whether there was a much longer queue on the left one. Yeah, no idea. But I might want another show, which means I'm gonna have to redo the layout, which is fine. So let's do... Oh, he's also not motivated. Good point. But let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna reset these shows so that they're laid out better, more efficiently. So sorry, all the people that were inside them, but y'all gonna have to take a break. Here we go. Alright, so everyone coming off the Omni Docks is coming here. This is the universal point. And they're going to come this way. So what we want to do is split left, right. And now it will evenly split 4 ways. Then at the back, we rejoin. Perfect. I will need to move the motivator demotivators because I don't want them overlapping the to demotivate our employees. And then we'll do one more motivation over here. Good. And then for fear, I'll add some more gibbets. 1, 2, so they don't pick up more sins when they don't have to. Getting them to the starting position faster. Okay, so that should help. All we need to do is to hire someone here. That'll work. Cool. So we're almost done with the punished sins, and then all that is left is to populate the overworld. So trying to keep them safe and populating. How's the Saint holding up? Oh, the Saint is not actually having their patience tested. They're just in an infinite loop because I don't want to have to deal with them. Right? Because I would need them to wait in line. I could redesign it, but it's not worth it for one individual. That's what I said before. So they're just in a perpetual loop of nonsense. I'm going to add one more Omni doc here to help with a little backlog. Let's see. Ladavie, the higher quality Ladavie. You're in. Back to work, guys. Come on, Fork. Oh, why isn't the fork working? There we go. Alright, let's check on the Warband. They must be going against you. Come on, a little bit more. Ugh, I missed. Alright, that should help keep him alive. And now we have 2 Saints in the loop. The other thing we could do is just decide to allow them to resurrect. That's not necessarily unreasonable given that the goal is just to populate the overworld. Having them stuck in the underworld doesn't functionally really help me in the long run. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm not going to try to rehabilitate them. I'm just going to allow them to resurrect. That way I'm actually making more progress. So up here, I'm going to create a rule that your sin has to be under 43, or you are a hero. Or you're a saint, and then you just go resurrect. So I'm not desainting anyone because, you know, I don't need to bother with that, I don't think. What shrine did I just pick up? Oh, the Helltunes one. So, summons a flute, which attracts an awe all entities below. A single click leaves the flute in place for a moderate amount of time. Holding will burn your faith coins and have them follow you. Pied Piper style. I'll give you a for instance. Here's the Helltunes, where they're just going to be in awe. Which, I don't have all the game mechanics to allow for, like, influence yet. That comes later. But Helltunes is useful for that.
Well enough. Plus, that corruption stone is making them delightfully nasty. I can't say it's not enjoyable to see them have fun. Let's stay on our guard, though. Too much fun could be bad for us.
Okay, so the sins are done. Now we just need to populate the overworld with, like, just a few more people. So getting them through here faster would be ideal, and then they're going pretty fast right now, I think. And they're conquering the hell out of all these points of interest up here. Wood. How's our ooh la la going? Yeah, they're slowly adding people to the hummus count. $150. And some of that is just like we allowed the saints out of the loop so that they can, you know, go resurrect. Saints are also immune to fear, so you can't like speed them up with gibba cages or anything like that. Which is like a totally different game mechanic. So if you have saints on a long path, they're going to move really slow and hold up traffic. So that's another thing that they will cause, which is interesting. All right, I've got full faith coins, so what can I do to help? Let's pick up charismatic admin one more point, see if that why aren't you so motivated? Yeah, 32%.
Yes, did I do
But these guys are sitting at like, yeah, pretty high. I like it. I have a bunch of free to spend spells. I just don't know if there's any dire layers for me to use that on. The rangers in this world are doing a pretty good job of winning everything. Oh, here we go. Oh, there's enemies here? Uh-oh. Here you go. Helping out. Don't step on that, guys. I missed. No, don't step on it. Well, see you in hell. Thank you for tuning in to Sintopia, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community in Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow administrators.